Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. My name is Annalise and this is my channel where we get planty with it. So today I'm going to be talking about 6 of my plants that are absolutely loving the LECA life. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, definitely keep on watching and consider hitting like and subscribe. It would really help me grow my channel and I'd really appreciate it. Let's get into the plants. So for today, I tried to pick a variety of plants because a lot of my plants actually are thriving in LECA, but I wanted to choose ones from different genuses to show you all that LECA can be really successful with a lot of different types of plants. So first up is this cutie. This is my Philodendron Silver Stripe. So it's pretty much like the Brazil, but the leaf shape is a little bit different. As you can see, the leaves are longer and skinnier than a traditional Brazil leaf, and the coloring down the leaf is a little bit more white, creamy colored. So I got this plant as individual cuttings and rooted it in water, and then I put it into LECA, and since then it's completely taken off. I mean, each of these pieces came from a one leaf cutting, and you can already see, I mean, this branch is really long for starting as just a single leaf. So let's do a root check. Wow, so you can see lots and lots of root growth out of the bottom of the pot, and so I think it's been really liking LECA. It's been thriving, it looks really happy, putting out really cute new growth. So that is plant number 1, the Philodendron Silver Stripe. Plant number 2 that's been loving LECA is my Confetti Syngonium. Here she is. Look at this newest leaf. I think it's so cute. I think this is a great alternative. I think I talked about it in my maybe underrated plants in some video. It's a great alternative if you're looking for a pink Syngonia, but you don't want to shell out the money on a pink splash or a milk confetti or any of those fancy ones. This one does have some cute pink speckling. The leaves are super cute, but it's way more affordable. A little caveat, all of my Syngonium actually are obsessed with LECA, and I found it really helpful because it was really hard for me to stay on top of watering with my Syngonium. They really need a lot of water. I've noticed they like their soil to really stay moist, and I would forget, and then leaves would crisp up, fall off, etc. So since I've moved pretty much all of my Syngonium to LECA, they've been doing so well. The roots on this guy are a little crazy. So here we go. They're all wound down in the bottom of this pot, but as you can see, it's really doing well, really growing quickly, and just looking so cute. So that is the Syngonium Confetti, plant number 2. Plant number 3 I'm so excited about because I know a lot of people have had problems with this plant rotting, whether it's in LECA or soil or pond or whatever. A lot of people have issues with this guy getting root rot. But this is my MONSTERA Constellation. How cute. Putting out a new leaf. Not fenestrated yet, but I'm hoping the next one will be because they are getting steadily bigger, as you can see. Anyway, I put this guy, initially he was in sphagnum when I first got him, and he rooted up in spag, and then when he was ready I transferred over to LECA. I had absolutely no issues with the transfer, didn't have any leaf loss, didn't have any leaf damage. I mean, this is the leaf it had when I transferred it, and you can see it's still going strong, and I've had absolutely no problem since I transferred it. I don't know if I just got lucky with this specific one because I have seen people put their Tycon in LECA and have it rot, but mine's been doing super well, and I'm not really doing anything special with it. There are some roots down there that you can see. There are roots coming out the other side of the pot as well. And as you can see, like the aerial roots here, right there, are reaching down in LECA to stabilize the plant. So if you're struggling with your Thai constellation rotting in soil or whatever you have it in, maybe give LECA a try. It's been growing so fast. That's the other thing. I know a lot of people say their Thai constellation is a really slow grower, even slower than their MONSTERA albo. But I've noticed this one grows way faster than my albo. My albo is actually a really slow grower, and this guy's putting out at least a new leaf every month, which is pretty crazy. This started with one leaf. I don't have a label on this guy, so I don't know exactly when, but I would say maybe 6 months ago. But at that point it was unrooted, so I had to root it entirely up, and then since then it's already put out 4 more leaves. So that's pretty fast growth for a variegated plant. So that's number 3, the MONSTERA Thai Constellation. Okay, so number 4 is a Hoya because you know I had to include a Hoya in this video. Pretty much all of my Hoya are living in LECA and they're really happy. They're really putting out a lot of growth. If you saw my last video, I just got a second IKEA greenhouse cabinet that all of my Hoya are living in now, and they're absolutely loving it. I'll be doing an update in another 3 weeks or so to just show you guys how everything's doing. But I did take one out just to talk about it today for how it's doing in LECA. And as you can see, here is my Hoya POTSI. When I first got this guy from Plant the Studio a few months back, it just had these bottom 2 leaves here. It was super cute. And then it shot out this long tendril going up here, and then this beautiful leaf. Super pretty, and now it's shooting out this leaf up here. You can see it's almost a little bit purpley, and there's a tiny, it might be hard to see, tiny baby leaf coming out on the other side as well. So 3 leaves in, okay, I got this in July. Yeah, so I got this one in July, and it's now early September, and it's already shot out 1 full leaf and has 2 more on the way. I mean, that's pretty good in my opinion for a Hoya since they are generally slower growers than other genuses. Let's check the roots. So yeah, a little bit less roots than some of the other plants, but you can still see pretty healthy roots coming out the bottom of the pot here. It is dripping, of course, because there's water in here, but that's okay. But yeah, definitely healthy roots coming out down here, and pretty much all of my Hoya I've been doing the same, just putting out new growth and loving the LECA life. Okay, I've got 2 more plants left, and I'm saving the best one for last. Next up is my ALOCASIA FRYDEK. Now, look at this massive guy. I think this is the newest leaf. I mean, let's do a head test. That is pretty big. I love this plant. I didn't think I would love this plant this much because my first ALOCASIA I ever had I killed, and I thought I just couldn't take care of ALOCASIA. But ever since I converted my ALOCASIA over to LECA, I've been having so much more success. So one common problem that people run into with ALOCASIA is that they can't hold a ton of leaves at a time. So people will notice, let's say the plant has 3 leaves, when it puts out a 4th leaf, the oldest leaf drops and it'll only have at most 3 leaves at a time. But I've noticed with my ALOCASIA and LECA, they really don't seem to have that problem. This is actually 2 plants in here, but you can see this big one has 1, 2, 3, 5 leaves, and I don't think it's dropped any since I put it in LECA. This is the leaf it had when I put it in LECA. It did get a little bit of discoloration, as you can see, but it's still hanging on. It's not floppy or anything. So that one's holding on to 5 leaves. So there's a second plant in here actually that grew from a corm, which is basically a little baby that ALOCASIA put out kind of within their roots, and that can grow into an entirely new plant. You can separate it from the mother plant if you want and start a new plant, but in this case, I didn't even know it was there, and it ended up growing into this cute little baby plant. Sorry, I just really zoomed over what corms are and how they work, but I could do a whole video on corms if you want. I have a lot of them rooting right now and hoping to grow them into new plants. So I can do a video on that. That would be fun, I think, to just track their progress over a couple months to see them grow from a little nub into a whole beautiful ALOCASIA plant. But anyway, ALOCASIA are also a plant I've noticed like to stay on the moisture side, and so it seems to really have taken super well to LECA since I don't have to worry about staying on top of watering or anything like that. Okay, that's all for this beauty, the ALOCASIA FRYDEK. I mean, come on guys, if you haven't felt these leaves, you have to. They're so velvety and just like the most beautiful shade of green. It's such a statement plant, and they're not too hard to get nowadays. I don't think they're too expensive anymore. And even if you get a small plant, the leaves increase in size so quickly. So, I mean, this plant started out with leaves even smaller than this, and now we have leaves this size. So they do really grow quickly. Okay, last plant is my absolute favorite. I think I talk about this plant probably too much and everyone's probably over it, but I cannot stop looking at it. Let me go grab it from the windowsill. Here is my PHILODENDRON PLOWMANII. About a month or so ago, I transferred this guy to a horizontal pot so it can crawl along the LECA. You can kind of see, I don't want to spill the water, but you might be able to see it crawling there. And since then, it's put out 2 beautiful leaves. It's put out this guy here, pretty beauty. And then this leaf here is pretty much brand new. You can see it's really soft, hasn't hardened off yet. This is so heavy with all the LECA and water in it. I'm gonna put it down here for a bit. But yeah, having this plant in LECA has completely changed my experience with it. When I first got it, it really could only hold on to 2 leaves at a time. Every time I put out a 3rd leaf, it would drop the 1st leaf, and it was really frustrating because it would have really, really beautiful leaves and then drop them. And so I was getting upset with it. I was getting frustrated with it, so I decided to try it in a crawling pot, and that made all the difference in the world. As you can see, it has 4 leaves now. Nothing's on the verge of dropping. The oldest leaf is not yellowing or anything like that. And that's because as it crawls along the ground, each node can put out aerial roots that will bury into the LECA and can reach the water and help support the plant. The same way when you have a climbing plant, the roots will latch onto a moss pole or a wood plank or something, and that helps stabilize the plant. This does the same thing, just with the roots going down into the LECA. So this plant has just been doing absolutely amazingly in LECA, and it just is so much easier to take care of. All you have to do is make sure there's water in the reservoir, and then I like to flush my plants every couple of weeks and put nutrients, and that's pretty much it. And then you get this beautiful, beautiful plant. And it looks so pretty sitting in my window with all these beautiful leaves and the light shining through them. I just absolutely love it. Okay, I'm gonna stop there, and I really could go on and on about all the plants I have that are thriving in LECA because there are quite a few more. But I wanted to choose my top 6 that have been really doing well and that have had no issues from the start. Some plants, for instance, are thriving in LECA now, but the transition process was really rough, or they've rotted in LECA before and I had to reroot them and put them back in. But these 6 plants have been doing well right from jump, never had any issues, and have been absolutely loving LECA. So hopefully this inspires you to try putting some of your plants in LECA. I know it can be a little intimidating, but I think it actually makes plant care so much easier. So hopefully you learned something new and enjoyed watching this video today. Please comment down below with any plants you have in LECA that are doing well, or if you have any questions about transferring plants to LECA, taking care of plants in LECA, definitely comment down below. I'll reply, I promise. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!